Hey everyone, I miss you so much. I really do. I love you guys. I wish we could be together. I know you've been doing Zoom with a lot of your teachers. At least I know Miranda's been doing Zoom with a lot of her teachers, and me trying to squeeze in another Zoom. We haven't been able to figure out the time when I could get all my kids together. So I'm gonna do this now. I've been doing videos for my seniors, and let's try this. Let's see if this works. I put on like 73 pounds over the quarantine, being on crutches and surgery. And look, I'm off crutches. Ugh! And my hair's long and it's crazy. But let's see if we can do a little bit of raising in the sun. All right. So last week you did for me something you really, really wanted that you just felt like you could just die, explode if you didn't get it. I got some interesting answers to that. That's always fun to do. And then we talked about the American dream, and do people have a chance to get it, and is it equal for everybody? And you looked at that picture, the first picture of equal, equitable, and then liberation. And what I really wanted you to get out of that was, okay, the first picture was everyone's treated equally. Everyone got the same support, but that didn't help everybody see the same. Right? So giving everybody the same situation, same isn't fair. Equal isn't fair. Equitable is fair, right? And the second picture is equitable. So the really tall people that didn't need the box to see the game didn't get the box, and the tiny kid needed the box, got a couple of boxes to be able to see the game. So that it's not about baseball. You guys understand that, right? It's about opportunities, opportunities for advancement, opportunities for success, opportunities to simply have a home and food and a hot meal, right? Um, and as a side note, nothing like a pandemic to bring this into focus, right? To show the non equity in the world and how those that have are good can weather the storm a lot better than those that don't have. Have you seen pictures of people lined up for blocks trying to wait for free food, wait for a box of food so they can feed their families, who never thought they'd be in this position, right? Having to do that. Look at the numbers, right? In areas where the African American population is a small percentage of the overall population, so 10% of the city's population is African American, only 10%, and yet the death rate of the virus for African Americans is 50% of the people are African American are dying, right? Completely disproportionate. So the second picture was to show that giving supports to those that need it and not to those who don't need it is a way to try to make things equitable. But the third picture is what we want to shoot for, liberation. Right? What happened in the third picture? The fence was taken away. The barrier to advancement, the barrier to success, the barrier to achieving the American dream, the barrier to reaching your goal. In that picture, we'll see in the game, right? But it's a metaphor. The barrier is removed, and so everyone is liberated. We don't need to support. We don't need to put boxes down if there's no barrier in the way. So you looked at that, and I appreciate all your good thoughts on that. I appreciate you guys doing those assignments for me, getting those in. And then I gave you a definition of the American dream and said, hey, does this change your mind about it? Some of you looked up the definition of the American dream in the first assignment, which isn't what I wanted, but it's so hard, like this. No worries whatsoever about that. And so the idea was that if everyone doesn't have the same opportunities, does everyone have the same chance to reach the American dream? Right? That's good. Look at the wealth gap in this country. The top 1% have 50% of the wealth in the country or something. The top 1% of the people in the country have 50% of the wealth. It's something crazy like that. It might even be worse than that. Right? So all right. So it's so easy for me to sit here and spout because it's a video, right? You don't get to talk back to me. But remember what I said to you is that your voices are important too. Your thoughts are important too. Your insights and your opinions are important too. And you can disagree with me. It is okay to disagree with me. I'm giving you my opinion based on 53 years of experience and my life. Right? But you can have difference of opinions. It doesn't make me right and you wrong. When I say, does everyone have the same opportunity for the American dream? Um, is this fair? Is that fair? Whatever, ask a question. Our difference of opinion doesn't make me right and you wrong, or you right and me wrong, right? It's a place to start. It's a place to look into the things. And really, all I want for you is not necessarily to agree with me, but to examine your own thoughts and think about situations. Maybe look at the world in a way you've never looked at it before. It's called a paradigm shift to change the way you see things. That's all I want, right? That's all I really want. Okay, so let's look. So all that was a build-up for Raising the Sun, which is a play, as you can see, by Lorraine Hansberry. I hope that you all were able to bring your book home. If you weren't, I did put up a PDF copy on the website for you under Topics Raising the Sun. It should be there for you. You can download and read along too. So I'm going to ask you on the assignments to read this first scene, but I'm going to read it to you, right? So that way you can listen to me read and read to yourself, read at the same time with me on your book if you want. Then I can stop and talk about things, and let's see how this goes. Right? It starts with a poem by Langston Hughes, and the poem is called Harlem, and it's such page 3 of this book. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crushed in sugar over like syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? Okay, when Lorraine Hansberry wrote this play, she titled it A Raisin in the Sun. It's an allusion, not an illusion where I make this book disappear. Amazing. You have no idea how I did that, right? Distraction. You were looking at something else and that book just disappeared. That's an illusion. Let me go get that. But an allusion is a reference to another work or another something in history or some other thing, right? So the title, A Raisin in the Sun, alludes to Langston Hughes' poem, Harlem. And Lorraine Hansberry wanted you to take with you all that you know about that poem or your thoughts about that poem or the meaning of that poem and bring it with you when you begin to read her play, A Raisin in the Sun. So let's look at Langston Hughes' poem, right? What happens to a dream deferred? Now, deferred means put off, right? Put on hold. You have to wait for it, right? So what happens to a dream deferred? So there's something you really want. There's a dream you have, a goal you're trying to achieve, something that you really, really want. What happens when you have to wait? And it continually is put off and put off and put off and put off and put off. What happens? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun and just shrivel and go away? Right? Does it die? Or does it fester like a sore and then run like something just, it eats at you, gnaws at you, festers inside of you? Does it stink like rotten meat or crushed and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load and you're weighted down by the burden of that dream that just never seems to be realized because the fence is in the way. The fence is in the way. The barrier is blocking you. Or does it explode? Or does the fact that you keep getting your dream deferred finally cause you to just fist in the air in the land of hypocrisy? Little Rage of the Machine reference there. That's an illusion. What I just did is an allusion to a Rage Against the Machine song. Does it cause you to become violent and revolt and get what you want by force? Right? What happens to a dream deferred? Now, in this play, we're talking about an African American family whose dream is to have a better life, right? Whose dream is to be on equal footing with their white neighbors, with their neighbors is the word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for? Other people. I don't know. I'm getting old and been in this house too long. My mind is going. But they want to be on the same equal footing as white folk, right? And have the same opportunities, get paid the same, be able to have the same jobs, the same educational opportunities, live in the nice neighborhoods, have nice houses, have nice things, right? But that's not the case right now, right? This is the dream. And it's about the younger family whose dream is to have the American dream. Right? Okay. So our cast of characters is Ruth Younger, right? She's the wife. Walter Lee Younger is the husband. Travis Younger is their son. Benita is Walter's sister. Lena is Walter and Benita's mom. Joseph Asagai is someone who's courting or suiting or wanting to date and marry Benita. George Murchison is another boy that wants to date Benita. Carl Lindler is from the Neighborhood Association. He'll come in later. Bobo was a friend of Walter and the moving men. You're not ever going to see. Okay, they're moving men. Okay. The time is sometime between World War II and the present. The place is Chicago's South Side, the South Side of Chicago. The Younger living room would be a comfortable and well-ordered room if it were not for a number of indestructible contradictions to this state of being. Its furnishings are typical and undistinguished, and their primary feature now is that they have clearly had to accommodate the living of too many people for too many years. And they are tired. Still, we can see that at some time, a time probably no longer remembered by the family, except perhaps for Mama, the furnishings of this room were actually selected with care and love and even hope, and brought to this apartment and arranged with taste and pride. That was a long time ago. Now the once loved pattern of the couch upholstery has to fight to show itself from under the acres of crocheted doilies and couch covers that have themselves finally come to be more important than the upholstery. And here a table or a chair has been moved to disguise the worn places in the carpet, but the carpet is fought back by showing its weariness with depressing uniformity elsewhere on its surface. Weariness has, in fact, won in this room. Think about that. Weariness has, in fact, won in this room. This room is full of weariness, of tired, of sad, of dreams deferred. Right? This was an apartment that they built, thinking they moved into, Mama and her husband at the time, thinking they wouldn't stay there too long. It was just a starting point. And here they are all these years later. And all the furniture is worn, and the carpet is worn, and everything is run down. And even the patches they put on the upholstery and the furniture has worn down itself. Too many people living for too many years in this little bitty place. Everything has been polished, washed, sat on, used, scrubbed too often. All pretenses but living itself have long since vanished from the very atmosphere of this room. Moreover, a section of this room, for it is not really a room unto itself, though the landlord's lease would make it seem so, slopes backward to provide a small kitchen area where the family prepares the meals that are eaten in the living room proper, which must also serve as a dining room. So since there's a dining room, one room serves as a dining room and a living room. And over here, really still part of this room, but the landlord says it's different, is a tiny itty bitty kitchen. So it's really one big room that they're trying to make use of. I'm sorry, I lost my place. The single window that has been provided for these two rooms is located in this kitchen area. The sole natural light for the family may enjoy in the course of a day is only that which fights its way through this little window. One little window at the end of the kitchen for the entire apartment. At left, the door leads to a bedroom that is shared by Mama and her daughter, Benita. At right, opposite, is a second room, which in the beginning of the life of this apartment was probably a breakfast room that serves as a bedroom for Walter and his wife, Ruth. Walter and his wife, Ruth, share one apartment. Benita and her mama share another bedroom, and Travis, the little boy, sleeps on the couch out in the one room. Okay. Act 1, Friday morning. It is morning dark in the living room. Travis is asleep on the make-down bed at center. An alarm clock sounds from within the bedroom at right, and presently Ruth enters from the room and closes the door behind her. She crosses sleepily toward the window. As she passes her sleeping son, she reaches down and shakes him a little. At the window, she raises the shade, and a dusky south side morning light comes in feebly. She fills a pot with water and puts it on to boil. She calls to the boy between yawns in a slightly muffled voice. Ruth is about 30. We can see that she was a pretty girl, even exceptionally so, but now it is apparent that life has been little that she expected, and disappointment has already begun to hang in her face. In a few years, before 35 even, she will be known among her people as a settled woman. She crosses to her son and gives him a good final rousing shake. Come on now, boy, 7:30. Her son sits up at last in a stupor of sleepiness. I say, hurry up, Travis. You ain't the only person in the world got to use a bathroom. The child, a sturdy, handsome little boy of 10 or 11, drags himself out of the bed and almost blindly takes his towels and today's clothes from drawers in a closet and goes out to the bathroom, which is an outside hall and which is shared by another family or families on the same floor. Ruth crosses to the bedroom door at right and opens it and calls in to her husband. So I remember when we were talking about the apartment, we didn't say bathroom anywhere. It's a shared bathroom down the hall for other apartments to use. So if you want to get to the bathroom, you got to get up early. You got to get down there and get in there before other families get in there and start to use it. And Walter's got to get in there, and Travis has got to get in there, and Benita's got to get in there, and that's just their family. So it's not a good situation. Walter Lee, it's after 7:30. Let me see you do some waking up in there now. She waits. You better get up from there, man. It's after 7:30, I tell you. She waits again. All right, you just go ahead and lay there. And next thing you know, Travis will be finished and Mr. Johnson will be in there and you'll be fussing and cussing around here like a madman. And be late too. Walter Lee, it's time for you to get up. She waits another second and starts to go into the bedroom, but is apparently satisfied that her husband has begun to get up. She stops, pulls the door to, and returns to the kitchen area. She wipes her face with a moist cloth and runs her fingers through her sleep disheveled hair in a vain effort and ties an apron around her housecoat. The bedroom door at right opens and her husband stands in the doorway in his pajamas, which are rumpled and mismated. He is a lean and tense young man in his middle 30s, inclined to quick, nervous movements and erratic speech habits, and always in his voice there's a quality of indictment. Is he out yet? What you mean out? He ain't hardly got in there good yet. Wandering in, still more oriented to sleep than the new day. Well, what was you doing all that yelling for if I can't even get in there yet? Check coming today? They said Saturday, and this is just Friday, and I hopes to God you ain't going to get up here first thing this morning and start talking to me about no money, because I about don't want to hear it. Something the matter with you this morning? No, I'm just sleepy as a devil. What kind of eggs you want? Not scrambled. Ruth starts to scramble eggs. Paper come? Ruth points impatiently to the rolled-up Tribune on the table, and he gets it and spreads it out and vaguely reads the front page. Set off another bomb yesterday. After World War II, when we dropped the 2 atomic bombs on the sovereign nation of Japan, on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And then the USSR got nuclear weapons. And so after World War II, we began to set off bombs in the desert to test the strength and build up our nuclear arsenals and stuff. So that's what he's talking about. Did they? What's the matter with you? Ain't nothing the matter with me, and don't keep asking me that this morning. Ain't nobody bothering you. Reading the next day of the day absently again. This is Walter talking. Say Colonel McCormick is sick. Is he now? Poor thing. Oh, me. Now, what is that boy doing in that bathroom all this time? He's just going to have to start getting up earlier. I can't be being late to work on account of him fooling around in there. And Ruth turns on him. Oh, no, he ain't going to be getting up no earlier. No such thing. It ain't his fault that he can't get to bed no earlier nights because he got a bunch of crazy, good-for-nothing clowns sitting up, running their mouths on what is supposed to be his bedroom after 10 o'clock at night. That's what you mad about, ain't it? The things I want to talk about with my friends just couldn't be important in your mind, could they? She rises and finds a cigarette in her handbag on the table and crosses to the little window and looks out, smoking and deeply enjoying the first one. Ruth says, matter-of-factly, well, you always got to smoke before you eat in the morning. Just look at him down there, running and racing to work. He turns and faces his wife and watches her a moment at the stove, and then suddenly, you look young this morning, baby. Yeah? Just for a second, stirring them eggs. It's gone now. Just for a second, you look real young again. It's gone now. You look like yourself again. Man, if you don't shut up and leave me alone. First thing a man ought to learn in life is not to make love to no black woman first thing in the morning. You all some evil people at 8 o'clock in the morning. Travis appears in the hall doorway, almost fully dressed and quite wide awake now, his towels and pajamas across his shoulders. He opens the door and signals for his father to make the bathroom in a hurry. Watching about it. Daddy, come on. Walter gets his bathroom utensils and flies out to the bathroom. Sit down and have your breakfast, Travis. Mama, this is Friday. Check coming tomorrow, huh? You get your mind off Monday and eat your breakfast. So Walter and Travis both have said something about a check coming. So they're obviously expecting a check tomorrow. Big deal. It's a big deal. We'll see. This is the morning we're supposed to bring the 50 cents to school. Well, I ain't got no 50 cents this morning. Teachers say we have to. I don't care what teachers say. I ain't got it. Eat your breakfast, Travis. I am eating. Hush up now. Just eat. The boy gives her an exasperated look for her lack of understanding and eats grudgingly. You think Grandmama would have it? No. And I want you to stop asking your grandmother for money. You hear me? Golly, I don't ask her. She just give me it sometimes. Travis Willard Younger. I got too much on me this morning to be. Maybe Daddy. Travis. The boy hushes abruptly. They are both quiet and tense for several seconds. Could I maybe go carry some groceries in front of the supermarket for a little while after school then? Just hush, I said. Travis jabs his spoon into his cereal bowl viciously and rests his head in anger upon his fists. If you two eating, you can get over there and make up your bed. The boy obeys stiffly and crosses the room almost mechanically to the bed and more or less carefully folds the covering. He carries the bedding into his mother's room and returns with his books and cap, sulking and standing apart from her unnaturally. I'm gone. Looking up from the stove to inspect him automatically. Come here. He crosses to her and she studies his head. If you don't take this comb and fix his here head, you better. Travis puts down his books and in a great sigh of oppression and crosses to the mirror. His mother mutters under her breath about his slubberness. About to march out of here with that head looking just like chicken slept in it. I just don't know where you get your slubbering ways. And you get your jacket too. Looks chilly out this morning. With conspicuously brushed hair and jacket. I'm gone. Get car fare and milk money, waving one finger. And not a single penny for no caps, you hear me? Yes'm. He turns in outrage to leave. His mother watches after him as his frustration he approaches the door almost comically. When she speaks to him, her voice has become a very gentle tease, mocking as she thinks he would say it. Oh, Mama makes me so mad sometimes. I don't know what to do. She waits and continues to his back as he stands stock still in front of the door. I wouldn't kiss that woman goodbye for nothing in this world this morning. The boy finally turns around and rolls his eyes at her, knowing the mood has changed, and he is vindicated. He does not, however, move toward her yet. Not for nothing in this world. She finally laughs aloud at him and holds out her arms to him, and we see that it is a way between them, very old and practiced. He crosses to her and allows her to embrace him warmly, but keeps his face fixed with masculine rigidity. She holds him back from her presently, looks at him, and runs her fingers over the features of his face with utter gentleness. Now, whose little old angry man are you? The masculinity and gruffness start to fade at last. Oh, golly, Mama. Oh, golly, Mama. She pushes him with rough playfulness and finality toward the door. Get on out of here or you're going to be late. In the face of love and new aggressiveness. Mama, could I please go carry groceries? Honey, it's starting to get so cold evenings. Coming in from the bathroom, Walter comes in from the bathroom and drawing a make-believe gun from a make-believe holster, shooting a sign. What is it he wants to do? Go carry groceries after school at the supermarket. Well, let him go. I have to. She won't give me the 50 cents. Why not? Because we don't have it. Because what you tell the boy things like that for? Reaching down into his pants with a rather important gesture. Here, son. He hands the boy the coin, but his eyes are directed to his wife's. Travis takes the money happily. Thanks, Daddy. He starts out. Ruth watches both of them with murder in her eyes. Walter stands and stares back at her with defiance and suddenly reaches into his pocket again on an afterthought. Without even looking at his son, still staring hard at his wife. In fact, here's another 50 cents. Buy yourself some fruit today or take a taxi cab to school or something. Whoopee! He leaps up and clasps his father around the middle with his legs, and they face each other in mutual appreciation. Slowly, Walter Lee peeks around the boy to catch the violent rays from his wife's eyes and draws his head back as if shot. You better get down now and get to school, man. Okay, goodbye. That's my boy. You know what I was thinking about in the bathroom this morning? No. How come you always try to be so pleasant? What is there to be pleasant about? You want to know what I was thinking about in the bathroom or not? I know what you was thinking about. About what me and Willie Harris was talking about last night. Willie Harris is a good-for-nothing loudmouth. Now, let me just stop for a second. So we saw an important scene there. We saw an important interaction to kind of give an idea of the family dynamics and what's going on in the house. Okay? So if we were together, I'd say to you right now, all right, so why doesn't Ruth give Travis the money? And then wait, and someone come up with a red hand, raise and say, they don't have it. Right, they don't have it. And Ruth is conscious about that. There's something going on in Ruth's mind too. Right? There's something going on with her. We can figure that out. We'll see what that is later. But she's acutely aware of their situation, and they don't have money just to throw around. Can't give 50 cents. Well, he gave him $1, right? Doesn't have the 50 cents. So Travis, knowing they don't have the 50 cents, wants to go work groceries to get the 50 cents, right? At least he's being responsible. Then the dad comes in and not even looking at the boy, staring at his mom like, what'd you tell him that for? Here's the 50 cents. Here's another 50 cents. right? Why does Walter do that? Right? I'd wait, and someone would talk, but yeah, good, you know. So what's the answer? Well, think about the way it makes Walter feel. One, that he can't give his boy 50 cents, right? His boy needs 50 cents for school and he doesn't have it to give it to him. Two, it hurts his pride, and he doesn't want his son to see him as less than, because he feels less than in the rest of the rest of the world. We'll find out he's a chauffeur and he drives a rich white man around, and he feels less than. As a black man in America at this time, you feel less than, and so he doesn't want to feel less than in his own house, right? And it's embarrassing. He doesn't want his son to look at him like that. And Walter's not good with money. That's the other piece of it. Is Walter isn't responsible. Maybe Ruth is overly strict. We don't know, to make up for Walter's spendthrift ways. Just 50 cents. Here's 50 cents more, 50 more cents. And he's talking about this money that's coming and they want to spend this money. And you'll see as we keep going. Okay. All right. Willie Harris is a good for nothing loudmouth, Ruth says. And Walter responds, anybody who talks to me has got to be a good for nothing loudmouth, ain't he? And what you know about who is just a good for nothing loudmouth? Charlie Atkins was just a good for nothing loudmouth too, wasn't he? When he wanted to go in the dry cleaning business with him. And now he's grossing $100,000 a year. $100,000 a year. You still call him a loudmouth? Oh, Walter Lee. You tired, ain't you? Tired of everything. Me, the boy, the way we live, this beat up hole, everything, ain't you? So tired, moaning and groaning all the time, but you wouldn't do nothing to help, would you? You couldn't be on my side that long for nothing, could you? Walter, please leave me alone. A man needs for a woman to back him up. Walter, Mama would listen to you. You know she listens to you more than she do to me and Benny, that's beneath him. She thinks more of you. All you have to do is just sit down with her when you're drinking your coffee one morning, talking about things like you do, and he sits down beside her and demonstrates graphically what he thinks her methods and tone should be. You just sip your coffee, see, and say easy like that. You've been thinking about that deal Walter Lee is so interested in, about the store and all, and sip some more coffee. Like, what you saying ain't really that important to you. And the next thing you know, she'd be listening good and asking you questions. And when I come home, I can tell her the details. This ain't no fly-by-night proposition, baby. I mean, we figured it out, me and Willie and Bobo. Bobo? Yeah, you see, this little liquor store we got in mind cost $75,000, and we figured the initial investment on the place would be about $30,000. See, that'd be $10,000 each. Of course, there's a couple hundred you got to pay, so you don't spend your life just waiting for them clowns to get your license, to let your license get approved. You mean graft? Go down there and bribe people, spread money around to get a liquor license. Don't call it that. See there, that just goes to show you what women understand about the world. Maybe don't nothing happen for you in this world unless you pay somebody off. Walter, leave me alone. She raises her head and stares at him vigorously, then says more quietly, eat your eggs. They're going to be cold. That's it. There you are. Man say to his woman, I got me a dream. His woman say, eat your eggs. Man say, I got to take hold of this here world, baby. And the woman will say, eat your eggs and go to work. Man say, I got to change my life. I'm choking to death, baby. And his woman say, your eggs is getting cold. Walter, that ain't none of our money. This morning, I was looking in the mirror and thinking about it. I'm 35 years old. I've been married 11 years, and I got a boy who sleeps in the living room. And all I got to give him is stories about how rich white people live. I didn't do that at all, did I? I missed that completely. Let me try that one more time. I'm sorry. And all I got to give him is stories about how rich white people live. Eat your eggs, Walter. Damn my eggs. Damn all the eggs it ever was. Then go to work. See, I'm trying to talk to you about myself. And all you can say is eat them eggs and go to work. Honey, you never say nothing new. I listen to you every day, every night, and every morning, and you never say nothing new. So you'd rather be Mr. Arnold than be a chauffeur. So I would rather be living in Buckingham Palace. This is just what's wrong with the black woman in this world. Don't understand about building their men up and making them feel like they're somebody, like they can do something. There are black men who do things. No thanks to the black woman. Well, being a black woman, I guess I can't help myself none. She rises and goes, she rises against the ironing board and sets it up and attacks a huge pile of rough, dry clothes, sprinkling them in preparation for the ironing and then rolling them into tight, fat balls. We one group of men tied to a race of women with small minds. You know what? Let's stop there. That's That's a good, I was going to do this first thing's long, and I talked a lot. So we'll stop there on page 17. I need to get a pencil and mark that down. And we'll start there with the next video. So I'll put in the assignment to read through page 17, um, where beneath the enters in scene one. Okay? All right, folks. Like I said at the beginning, I miss you. I love you. I miss all your smiling faces and talking to you every day and seeing you. And I'm hoping we can be together before the year's over. We all get back together, even if it's for a month, even if it's for half a month, we get back together and we see each other and we get to catch up and finish the year together. If not, we'll make it work. Don't worry. Okay. Don't stress. I know you got lots of work to do. Make sure you take breaks. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you get outside, walk around your house if you have to. Walk laps in your house. Do something to get some gross motor skills, um, and take care of yourselves and be happy and be healthy. And if there's a problem with anything in English class, you can always contact me. If there's a problem with anything, you can always contact me. Right? I'm here. If you need to chat, if you need to talk, whatever, I'm here. My door is always open to you. It's still open to you. Don't forget that. All right. This is a crisis situation, and sometimes you just need somebody. And if that's me, that's me. If it's another adult, it's another adult. If your parents are home, you talk to your parents, do that too, right? Whatever. But take care of yourself. Okie dokie. I will see you next time. Love you and be happy and healthy.